Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. It is Tuesday and today has been a very busy day and we still have a hug to do. So today's hug is going to be from 100 Hugs by Chris Riddell, and it's the Ogre Hug, and it says love looks not with the eyes but with the mind by William Shakespeare. So this is the hug that we're going to color today. And I've got it pinned so that I can not have it floppy, but it's going to be floppy anyway. We're going to use the U by colored pencils because that's our feature pencil of the week. And I'm going to switch you over to the close-up. And hopefully this relaxing music doesn't put me to sleep because I'm tired. It has been a very long day, so I do apologize if I start getting very quiet. Alright, so I'm going to start by doing his vest, and I'm using a light brown just as a base coat. It's just a light tan brown, and we'll darken that up when we get to it. So I hope everybody has had a wonderful day. It's just been a really busy day today for me. So much going on and so little time. Of course, you got housework to do and grocery shopping and the exterminator and yeah, just so much going on. But it's time to relax, sit back, and color a hug. So that's what I'm going to do. And of course, my husband is in his office talking to his friends and will probably be noisy, so I apologize in advance. Hopefully he doesn't start cussing or something. And hopefully you guys can't hear him very well. I know that you guys can hear his laugh though because it carries. Sometimes you can hear him. It all depends upon how exuberant he gets. Alright. This is just a really pale tan color. The U by pencils are a student grade pencil. The great thing about the U by pencils is when you buy a set of pencils, they give a set of pencils to less fortunate children and schools in the United States, which is great. I think that's just like the coolest thing ever. Okay, so we've got down some light tan. Now I'm going to leave that sticking out a little bit so that I can remember that I used that one. And now we're going to get a darker brown color here. And I'm going to sharpen it. Where's my sharpener? Maybe. Maybe I'll sharpen it. It all depends on if I can find the sharpener or not. I usually try to have these done fairly early, but unfortunately it's been one of those days. So I do apologize for all of you that have already reached tomorrow because it's not tomorrow here yet. Okay, so for some reason my sharpener is not sharpening this pencil. My sharpener says nope, don't like that one, so I'm going to grab a different sharpener. There we go. If all else fails, get a different sharpener. And that worked just fine. So this is a darker brown. So we're going to go in. Ooh, it's a bit of a red. A little bit of a red brown, but that's okay. I wanted to extend that out a little bit anyway, so. Just going into those shadow areas that Chris has left for us. And I'm just extending that out just a little bit past where those lines are, because I'm going to go in with another darker pencil, or a darker brown, into those lines. And then we'll go over it again with the tan and blend it all together. And hopefully there's enough tooth in the page to do that. These pencils are quite smooth, and they do lay down a good amount of color. The only thing with them is they're not water resistant. They will bleed with water, and they are not, excuse me, I got an itch on my nose. They are not light fast. They're definitely a student or child's grade pencil, but they do color quite nicely. They are very nicely pigmented, and they're fairly smooth for a inexpensive pencil. And they are actually well centered. I've had some really expensive pencils that aren't as well centered as these ones, which is awesome. Nothing worse than having an off-center pencil that doesn't sharpen right. And so far, from what I can see, there's only maybe one or two that aren't completely straight or aren't completely centered in the barrel, which is really cool. So just finishing up and just making sure I extend that out. As you can see, there's a lot of movement in the clothing here. So we're just putting in that medium brown color into that movement and extending it out into the rest of the light areas. Like I said, the really light areas, I'm going to leave them fairly light. And then I'm going to go over it with the light tone again after I put in the darkest of colors. Sometimes you just find that you need to put in more than one dark to get to the effect that you want. And that's the great thing about coloring, is you just play with it until you get to where you want it to be. Well, I guess that's the way it is with any art project. You just play with it until you get to where you want it to be. Sometimes it could be frustrating, but sometimes just playing with it is very helpful. And I didn't do the bottom of his shirt there. That is under his belt line. How silly of me. So I'm just going to put in that light brown that we started with into the bottom of his shirt here. And this hug, of course, every hug is sent out to each and every one of you. And this big bear hug of Ogre Hugs is definitely sent out to every one of you that stepped up to the plate yesterday. I appreciate it. You all helped so much, and just being there helped so much. And we were able to get to where we needed to be, so, absolutely fantastic. You all are just brilliant. Brilliant people. And so kind. And I appreciate it. And so does the person that we were doing that for. She was watching the stream as it was going on and couldn't talk. And she was very emotional when I talked to her, so she appreciates it, and she will be coming on the channel to let you know how much she appreciates it when she's ready. So I'm just putting in that dark color, that medium color, and extending it down into that light color again. Just the same as we did on the top area there. I'm just working underneath the belt, making sure that that's got all of the curves and folds. I'll figure it out there. Alright. We're going to put that one back. We're going to put the light one back. Then we're going to grab another dark one here. This one already has a good point, so, and this is a darker brown. Less of a red brown, more of a black brown, which is good. That's what I wanted. And I'm just going very close to the shadowed areas here, leaving some of that red brown showing. Like that. Just giving it a little bit of depth. Following more of what Chris has already put into the page. So that you can see that shadow. Alright. I do apologize. My youngest son has decided to grace us with his presence, so he's going to work the dog up, so you'll probably hear her hacking and screaming and doing her thing. Alright. Just getting into those curves. Those darker areas of the shirt where it's coming into the belt area. Making sure that these dark areas are really dark. Like I said, we will be going over this with the lighter color again, just to fill it in a little bit. Darken it up just a touch. And there we go. Alright. Okay, what else am I putting in there? Just gotta make sure that I get all of those areas in. Like I said, it's just basically going through and fiddling with the lines and making sure that you get the, a little bit of the contrast that you want. 9 times out of 10, it's just a matter of adding until you're satisfied. That's the one thing I like about some pencils, is that they are really good with layers. So when you go through and you add your layers and you do them gradually, you can control where things are a little bit. Where with some pencils, excuse the train. Oh my goodness, he's really blowing the horn tonight. It's because it's a little bit cloud or foggy out and a little bit cold. So it's a little harder for them to stop if somebody gets in the way. And I'm just going to take, I think, a little bit of black. Maybe. Maybe not. Debates. No, I'm going to take that dark brown again and just fill in this area up here around his neck. Right up in here. And down the sides of his shirt. Alright. There we go. And now we're going to take that tan again. And we're just going to blend it all in. Darkening up that tan color. Now the book that I'm working in is, as you already know, because I've said it every hug for the past 89 hugs, this is not a coloring book. This is a reading book, so the paper is very thin. So when you are putting down your layers, especially when you're using a very hard pencil, be very careful on how pointed your pencil is, for one, how sharp it is. And if it is very sharp, like I like to keep my pencils very, very sharp, make sure you don't put too much pressure directly down on your pencil. Try to work from the side of your pencil so that you're not digging that pencil directly into the paper, because you can tear this paper very easily. You don't get as vibrant or deep of a color doing it that way. However, sometimes you just have to work with the paper, and that's the best way I've found so far to work with this paper, is just to be gentle with it and patient with it. Now, I have heard that the Black Widows work quite well on this paper, so I will be coloring with the Black Widows on one of the hugs sometime soon. I know I was going to do, I'm going to be doing a feature week for the Black Widows when the new set comes in. But yeah, they said they still have an estimate of December to early January, late December, early January. So when they come in, I will be doing a feature week with them, but I will also do one of the hugs with them as well before then, just to see how they do on this paper. Alright, so that is his shirt all done. So let's do his pants. I need some blues. So I think I'm going to start with this one here. Sharpen it up. And as you can see, I really like to have my tips very, very sharp. So I try to work from this side of the pencil so I'm not digging that tip in. Like I said before, it just works so much easier on this paper to avoid that tearing and everything else. Now I'm going to take the clip off because it's in my way. And just going down all the way through his trousers. With this lightish blue. And this is the lightest color that I'm going to use. And I must say, he's got quite a bit of trouser space. For a small picture, there's a lot of trousers. He's a good size orc. Alright. Just getting down into those frayed edges of his pants. And we're going to put that one away and we're going to grab a darker blue. I think this is a darker blue. Yeah, this one should be a darker blue. And I'm going to go into those lines and curves and everything else with this darker blue. This is the medium blue that I'm going to use. So I'm just covering as much of the areas as I can without completely removing that light blue, but still working into it. There's a lot of movement, a lot of lines on these pants. So I'm just trying to follow as many of them as I can and still leave some of that light color. I think I already said that. Like I said, I'm tired. I don't take responsibility for anything I say at this point. It's been a long day, and I had to go out and people. I don't like going out and peopling. But Thanksgiving is coming up, and I needed to get all the things that I needed for Thanksgiving dinner, and you know, the children keep on saying they're starving. So once again, just using the side of the pencil and using a small bit of the tip when I get into those tighter areas. But for these different areas here, I'm just using a little bit of the side of the pencil, trying to maintain the distance for the paper. So I guess that's the right word. It might not be the right word. Words are hard. Trying to make sure that I put in enough pressure to get the darkness that I want from this medium tone. Is it a tone or is it a tint? For this medium color that I'm using. The medium blue. But still leave some of that lighter blue showing for highlights, without cutting into the paper with the tip of my pencil, because it is very simple to do, especially when you're trying to work in small areas. and get that vibrant color in there. Alright, so that one's there, and I think I want this one. Let's see. Let's see what color this is. Don't want to color on something that isn't supposed to be colored on. Yeah. Just making sure I have the color that I wanted. Because there's a purple mixed in there somewhere, and I don't think I want to get a purple in here. So I'm just going into the deepest areas, the deepest curves and folds, and making sure that they are darkened. Give dimension to those curves. All right. Okay. So like that, it gives you that ability to show the movement. You don't have to follow all the lines with that darker color, but if you follow a couple of them, as well as the shadow areas, it gives that dimension. Like basically the form, the sides of the pants, the sides of the hips, under here where his creases are of his body, I guess is the word. Curves, where the curves are of his body, where it's showing in the structure of the garment. Trying to be politically correct here. And I'm tired, so my brain's going, words are hard. All right. There we go. Okay, now we're going to take that light blue again. I'm going to put this one back. We're going to take that light blue again, and we're going to darken up, and I'm just going to do it from the side once again. Just blending that all in and darkening up those highlight areas. So those folds that are in the trousers. Like so. Not putting a lot of pressure down, just enough to change that color to a little bit darker, but still have that highlight with the lighter color. Oh, and there goes my husband. Like I said, you'll hear him laugh because he has a very, very boisterous laugh. I love it when he laughs. Alright guys, so that one, the pants are all done. And I'm going to take a little bit of, let's see, blacks. I think blacks. Blacks and grays for his belt. So I'm going to start with this one. And we're going to take this gray, and this is a dark gray, and we're just going to put it in the open spaces of his belt so that when I go over it with the black, it will show through as a light source area, so an area that light is hitting. Alright, and then we're going to take the black and we're going to go in and we're going to fill that in. The black in this set is really, really nice. It's quite vivid. Now I'm trying to avoid that small string there. And as you can see, when I go over that gray, it just stays gray, which is great. It's exactly what I wanted it to do. And we've got a belt loop here. And that should have been brown, but too late now. Like I said, I'm tired. I considered, just not doing the hug, but I really wanted to. It's very relaxing to me, especially after a very long day, to just sit down and do something quick and simple, and to share it with you guys just makes my day even better. So, like I said, it's something that I really wanted to do. So, though part of my brain said, yeah, you're too tired. It might not be a good thing. Alright, so that's that. We've got that done. Now, I'm actually going to take the gold from the Color and put a little bit of gold on this string here. Make it a bit of a gold chain type string, like a golden necklace or something. I know it kind of looks brown, but that's okay. Alright, so now for his skin, we're going to make him, I think we're going to make him some, I don't know. Trying to decide here. I think we're going to use this one. Actually, I think we're going to use this one. So we're going to start with a bit of a tan tone on him. Now, it looks like this is his arms. So we're going to put down the tan and then we're going to add some color to it. Just trying to decide what the color is that I want to add to it. And this is just his undertone. I think I'm going to color him the same way I colored the other. Well, no, he's an orc. He's not an ogre, so. Yeah, I think I'm just going to work in grays and tans and browns on him. I know it blends in a little bit too much to his shirt, but that's okay because that's kind of the way they roll. So add a little bit green, a little bit of brown, a little bit more brown, but we're going to go with a greeny brown, greeny gray color first. So I need maybe a bit of a blue gray color. So let's start with this one here. I think this is the right color. No. I may have put it somewhere else because it is a bit of a bluey kind of color. Nope. I'll have to go through and see if I can find it. Maybe this one? Well, we'll work with this one and then we'll add the green to it if we find that we need it. So I'm using a darker, medium kind of gray here over top of the the tan tone, the tan color. I don't know why I keep saying tones and whatnot. I have no idea. It could be a tint since it's light, you know. I have no clue on color theory. I just look at my color wheel and go, okay, that's that, and that's this, and that's the color I want to go with this color, and I don't want to, you know, I just want to color. You know, I don't want to stress too much on whether it's the right tone or whether it's the right tint, or, and I completely missed that arm. So we're going to color that in. I completely missed his arm. There we go. So I'm just going through, putting in that shadow right over top of that light tan brown color. And we can, of course, you know, up that tan color when we're all done with the darker colors. And that is definitely what we are going to do. But we gotta get these darker colors in first. So I'm just going through and doing those dark areas that the artist has put in. You know, as usual, you just follow the clues, follow the hints that the artist is giving you on what color goes where. And you can, of course, you know, ignore what the artist is telling you to do and do your own thing. That is completely up to you. I do sometimes. I just completely ignore sometimes because I want the light source to be somewhere else, or I want something else to go on, and you know, sometimes it's just fun to ignore the way that the artist wants you to do it and just do it yourself and the way you want to do it. And that is perfectly acceptable. There is absolutely no right, no wrong way of coloring. You just color it your way, and that's always going to be the right way. Alright, so we've got the gray down. Now I think I'm going to see, Let's see if I can find. I could have swore I had a grayish green color. Maybe it was in this set. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Like I said, I'm tired, so I'm not seeing things the right way either. So I think number 25 in this set. So I think that's in here. Actually, that one's pretty good. This one's kind of a grayish blue color, which adds a bit of green tone when you go over it with the brown, so that'll work really good. So I'm just coloring in to where I think it would look good. Going over top of some of that gray, extending it out just a touch. And then when I go over that with that yellow, it may green it up a little bit. And of course I have my paper behind my page here so that it's going to catch all of that color from the other pages without transferring them onto each other, which is what we don't want. Just going in and filling in his features with this green-gray color. Now I'm not doing all of it, I'm just doing where it's darkest. I will be going over the tanny color with the lightest color again when it's all done. And I will be blending that all together with that tanny color. So even if it looks a little too light in some spots, it will be darker once we get that color in. Okay, and we're going to go down here. And up in here. And then we're going to go over here to the other arm. And hopefully these aren't sleeves, but they, to me they just didn't look like sleeves. They look more like the arms. So that's what I colored them as. And then down here, getting that darkest areas coated here. Extending it out into the light areas, making sure that his toenails are kind of green. Like so. Oh, sorry guys, was off screen. Just get that toenail and that toenail. Then we're going to do the same thing over here. There we go. And then down this dark area here. And I know I've got the gray there, and that's a good thing because it adds to the shadowing effects of this green, which is what I want it to do. So we're going to put this one back, and then we're going to take that tanny brown color again, and we're going to go over top of that light color. Blending it all in. Like so. Now I'm not pressing too hard because I don't want it to be like a bright yellowy kind of color, but I do want it to stand out a little bit against that green gray color. Like so. And then down his lips and his chin. And then we have one ogre all done. Now for the other one, his is mostly skin showing, except for a little bit of his shirt there. So we're going to do his shirt. I think we're going to do his shirt in, sure, why not? Let's do it in purple. So let's start with a light purple. And we're going to grab this one. Like so. And I'm just putting a base coat on his clothes there. Now we're going to put that one back, and we're going to take a darker purple, and we're going to extend those lines out a little bit. Like so. Alright. And there we go. Then we want just a little bit darker. Like this one here. I think. And just for the very edges. Just up in here. Where those shadows are the deepest. Same with over here. It's going into where those shadows are the deepest. Like that. And then we're going to take our light purple again. And we're going to deepen that up a little bit. I need that deep purple again for this side. Putting in all those shadows, like so. Just darken that up a little. There we go. And then for his skin, we're going to start with, press all those back in because I'm done with those. For his skin, we're going to start with, I think this one here. It's a deep peachy pink color, almost a marmalade orange kind of color. And we're just going to put that on very lightly, and then we're going to go through and we're going to darken that up. So he's going to be a little bit of an orange color. Well, not just a little bit of an orange color. He's going to be an orange color. It goes well with the purple. Like that. Alright. And then down onto his arms. Again, just basically base coating it very lightly, putting in that color. Just block coloring the whole thing. And of course we will be adding the darker colors for the shadows and some darker colors for his nails and all that stuff. So I'm not too concerned with making sure I get all of the white areas, because I will be going over them after we're all done with the darker areas. So I'm just very, very loosely filling it in. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. Like that. Alright. And then we're going to do the same thing for his feet. Alright. And there we have his feet done. Now we're going to add some darker orange. So let's start down here on his feet. I'm going to be adding some dark brown to his feet as well for some dirt, because yeah, they're feet and they're ogre feet, so they've been running around in the dirt. So I will be adding some dirt tones to that as well, some earth tones. Alright, so there we go. Alright. Just getting into those areas. I know I'm getting quiet, but I'm just getting relaxed and concentrating so that I can get all the right colors in. And sometimes you have to slow down and look at the colors and see if they're the right color. And I think this is going to be a good combination. Like so. we go. All right. All right. So I'm just getting that little bits in there. There we go. Get right in there. Do up his beauty marks there. All right. Okay. So there's our orange areas. Now we're going to take a little bit of brown. And we're going to go with, oh, I've missed some orange areas. I completely missed his face. Sorry guys, I just hit the camera. Let's go back in and finish his face because I completely missed his face. So I'm just doing those dark areas again, following those lines that the artist has given us. Showing the contours and bumps and everything else in the ogre's face. I don't know if it's an ogre or a troll, or, you know, if it's a troll, it's kind of the wrong color, but I think at this point he's an ogre. Alright, now we're going to go in with some browns. And we're going to start down on his feet with some darker brown colors. Brain doesn't work. Alright, so we're going to grab this one here. And we're going to give it a quick sharpen. And we're going to go into those deeper areas. And add that brown. To his nails. And to the undersides of his toes and between his toes. Like that. Make his foot look a little dirty. Alright. Then we're going to come in here at the very darkest areas. Put in a little bit of that dark color there as well. there we have that. Do his nails. Like that. And like that. Now we're going to come in here and make sure that we get that nice and dark there for where his arm is bending a little bit. And we're just going to blend that out a little. Same with the other side here. Going to do his nails. And the tips of his fingers here. Make sure that we get all the shadows. Alright. We're just getting it deep underneath that shirt, up the edges of his hand here. Alright, so then we're going to do some on the face. First, let's grab a little bit more in here and down in here. Then in his face, up in his ears, under his eyebrows, up in his nose, there we go. Alright. And then of course we're going to go over this again with that lighter color and blend it all in. So let's grab that lighter peachy color and we'll blend that all together. Of course, I'm just putting down enough pressure to get the color to lay out the way I want it to. Nice and smooth, blending that all together. Like so. Then down his hands as well. Putting in just enough of that color, blending it all together. All right. All right. Just getting that. Alright. Almost all done here, guys. I know I'm getting quiet and my brain is said, okay, I'm going nights now. Alright, so he's all done. Let's do the ground. So I'm going to do the ground with a bit of a muddy, murky, greeny kind of color. So let's grab, I think it's this one. Where's my chart? Yeah, it should be this one here, or this one. Maybe this one. I'm going to start with a olivey green color. So we're going to start back here. I'm going to put in some olive green. Just make sure that my mic is on. It just dawned on me. I already did that once today. I don't want to do it again. If it happened again, I would have, just taken the sound out and put it all to music. Alright. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we've got the green down, and I probably just did that all off camera. Sorry, guys. So now I'm going to put a little bit of brown in there. I'm going to sharpen. No, I don't want this one. I'm going to use this one. Alright. There we go. There we go. Just making that a little bit murky, a little muddy, making it look dirty and grassy and, ochre-y. I'm just going to take a dark color here now. This is a dark brown. There we go. There you go. Perfect. Alright. So there is our ogre hug. And this is, well, I guess ogre, I'm not sure if it's an ogre or, I have no idea. It's a hug. I'm going to move everything over here, switch you on over to the full camera so that we can see all the proper colors. So there is our hug. Now this is hug number 89. 11 more to go, guys. So this is November. And it should be the 16th, 2021. And this is hug number 89. And there is our ogre hug. I will be posting a picture of this in Instagram. It may not happen tonight. I may have to wait until tomorrow. I'll try to post it tonight. It doesn't take that long to post. But so this will be posted quickly here. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the hug. Of course, it is late. So, thank you all very much for watching, and thank you all very much for hanging out with me. And I hope you have enjoyed this hug out of 89. And of course, it's a wonderful little bear hug. So, all right, guys, thank you all very much for joining me. And of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. That is the best way possible to support my channel. If you do want to support via financial support, you can of course do so by hitting that join button below the video. There is a membership, a tier that you can join up, and of course just hitting the join button will give you all the information on the different tiers. Other than that, guys, remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Of course, tomorrow is Work in Progress Wednesday, and we will be finishing, hopefully finishing, our turkey dinner. All right, guys, until tomorrow, bye-bye for now.